these black women are creating lines knowing how hard it has been for black people to get shade matched.
It makes me like nauseous because it's so dehumanizing.
They've won. Once you
Yes.
hit check out and you give them
Yes.
your money, they won.
Sweetest celebrity I have ever met.
Bella Hadid to come out with fragrances that smell like that.
Can you even?
This
the
like
only
kiss
lesbian.
meets like yeah, girl. Yeah.
Drew Barrymore, Kamala Harris interview.
Someone said, I can't believe the Secret Service let this happen. You know what?
All right.
You know what?
Oh my God. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to a new episode of Beautiful and Bothered. Are we in the right spot? Everything's fine? Something's wrong. Something's a
Well, you know what? We're here.
We're here. That's all that matters.
Well, something's afoot. Don't tell Dan Schneider that.
No. Why? Did he like feet?
He liked feet. Foot
God,
fetish.
why
And
is
he
it
was
always-
weird. He was always... Did you... I need to watch
No,
that
I didn't watch
documentary.
it. I have seen so many
It's going to
clips
ruin
and-
my childhood of like
I
all the
know.
shows that I used to watch and knowing how much of a
I know.
piece of shit he is.
Absolutely. We're talking about the Nickelodeon documentary. And that's, you know what I
But,
laugh
and the
the
other
whole time?
executives.
The yes, and the other executives at Nickelodeon. That's what makes
Yeah.
me laugh about people who say the thing about drag queens being predatory, who
Yeah.
like show me cases equal to heterosexual men that are pedophiles and predators.
yeah.
And then it's like all the people saying like drag queens, whatever, like let their kids watch Nickelodeon, not batting an eyelash, not really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
oh,
always
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
people you in plain sight that
Yeah.
are the most, yeah, absolutely.
They say it's like teachers, doctors, lawyers, priests, everything.
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but we're the
Ugh.
problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
We haven't filmed in 2 weeks, and we always say it feels like one of us, like you go off to war. Like
Yeah.
yeah, and so much happened in this 2 weeks.
Yeah, like too much. Girl.
Yeah.
It just feels like there's so much to catch up on.
We have so much to talk about. We have Youthforia, girl. So Youthforia is a makeup brand that did something horrible, which we will get into. And then, yeah, in the past 2 weeks, for me, I have met Bella Hadid. I am Bella Hadid. And it took every fiber of my being not to do that in her face. So like, I met Bella Hadid for her new fragrance line, which we have right here, not sponsored, but Kevin hasn't smelt them, so we're going to do that. And then I went to the Rare Beauty Mental Health Summit, which I filmed a segment for the Today Show for that, which I'll tell you how that panned out. And then I had a Laura Mercier event. I went to a Met Gala watch party with TikTok. I was not invited because TikTok has never acknowledged my presence. It was Erin Dugan-Yurchak, who I love. Second guest on the pod.
Yeah.
Yes. She invited me as her plus one. So we had a blast. Tell you about that. We had the Met Gala, which we'll get into and kind of let you know about that.
Yeah.
And then
you wearing bottom eyeliner today? Looking so nice and
Thank you.
fresh, and I love that.
Yeah, you do like it?
I do. It looks very nice.
Thank you. So much to get into. Let's take a break. And we'll come right back with all this hot tea.
Yeah. The hot goss.
Could you stop breathing so badly, honey? Hi, everybody. We have a very special announcement. If you enjoy Beautiful and Bothered, we would like to officially announce Beyond Bothered After Show on Patreon. We told you it was coming. It's here. It's here.
And here.
And here. We have one full-length bonus episode at the end of every month, but we thought we would celebrate the premiere of Beyond Bothered After Show on Patreon with 2024 Met Gala Makeup Police episode.
What a better way to kick it off.
Girl, you can head over there right now. It is very affordable, and check out the very first bonus episode, which there will be another one at the end of this month. So this is a little like premiere party bonus.
A bonus.
So head over to the Beyond Bothered Patreon and check out the 2024 Met Gala Makeup Police. There will be so much more coming as far as beauty content every single month, ability to ask us questions, leave us voice memos. At the end of every single episode, there'll be bonus bloopers, bonus clips. We can
I'll squish
do
a cake with my toes if you want. I'll do
Kevin
whatever.
will sit on cake. We have music reviews because there's no copyright, reaction videos, so much more. You do not want to miss out. So make sure to head over to the Beyond Bothered Patreon, which you can find in the description of this podcast if you're streaming it or watching us on YouTube. But we are so excited to start this journey. You guys have been requesting a Patreon for quite some time. So
we're in our Patreon era.
We're in our Patreon era. Beyond bothered. Smoky after show. We just smoked cigarettes the whole time.
God, so
it was a total bang fest. Check out Beyond Bothered Patreon. God, where should we start? Okay, well, I'll take you through the week. So really, last week was, I feel like crazy. It was an emotional roller coaster. And we were kind of talking about it when you got here. I feel like I have felt so stuck in a rut for so long. Like, and so certain things aren't going anywhere. And I just want it to like come on. And, but last week really felt like probably the lowest I've been in a while, where now this week I actually am starting to feel a little bit like, okay, I've been at what I have felt like emotionally rock bottom for so long that I'm starting to feel an uptick in things, like things happening, etc. I think it was last Tuesday, I want to say, was the Laura Mercier event. The whole day I spent in bed. Like, it was a really bad, like, just depressive episode. Like, I was like under the covers. I want total blackness.
We were supposed to film that day.
Yes. And I was like,
we were just like, we're not going to do it.
And ironically, the next day was the Rare Beauty Mental Health Summit. So that worked out well in a way. And then I got a DM from the team later in the night saying, hey, like, and I love the team from Rare Beauty. Courtney, I feel like I've seen so much recently. We talked about her, who we used to know, works for the brand now. And I got a DM from them basically saying that for the Mental Health Summit, the Today Show was doing a segment on it, and they picked, I don't know how many people, but they were like, can you come a little early? And we would love for you to get interviewed for the Today Show, like talking about your journey with mental health, etc., like your relationship with the Rare Impact Fund, Selena Gomez's kind of like impact on the mental health space, etc. So I was like, oh my God, yes. Went there, did it. It was really cool. It was very brief. Like, it was maybe like, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. And they were definitely looking for like sound bites of like, to pepper in, because she did like a sit down interview with the Surgeon General, like, of the country. He was there at the Mental Health Summit. Like, he was like, everything he was saying was great. But Selena and him did like the Today Show interview, like in the studio, and then they were going to pepper these in. It was going to air the next morning at 8:00 in the morning. And Casey and I like woke up, like put it on, whatever, cut the segment. So it was just like Selena and the Surgeon General. So we were like, why? I felt like Oprah, where I was just like, like, it was
Azalea Banks. So
yeah,
what now?
Yeah, what now? Yeah. So they cut my Today Show appearance, but that was I honestly just wanted to use it finally to maybe get verified on TikTok so people stop stealing my comedy skits. But that was about it.
That's wild that you're not verified there yet, but you're verified on Instagram.
Girl, well, that's TikTok, which I met people finally from TikTok at the Met Gala thing, which we'll get to. And then the Rare Beauty Mental Health Summit was, oh my God, it was incredible. It was like 5 hours. And I felt like you were like the way, if you're an employee of a company, if they have like a summit, like it was like 5 hours of like unbelievable speakers. Like, it was like the director of emotional intelligence from Yale University, like just insane. And it was so cool. Like, the resources they provided. That's the thing as well. I just like my testament to like just loving Selena Gomez and the brand and the whole nine. And she said during her segment how like the Rare Impact Fund was made before Rare Beauty, and the whole point of Rare Beauty was almost to just like be another benchmark or springboard to bring even more awareness to the Rare Impact Fund, which is why everything in Rare Beauty, all the names and everything are like positive, like it's all mental healthy related. Like, and I think 1% of every single sale goes to the Rare Impact Fund, which I think she was saying too, that their goal in the beginning was to raise $100 million in 10 years. And so far, I want to say in 2.5-3 years, they've raised 14 million, I want to say, for the Rare Impact Fund. So it was like really, it was just very cool to be there and like see, it was awesome to get to be around other people that do this. And in that context, especially after coming off of such a horrible day, like the day before.
And I'm glad you didn't go. Because sometimes it's like, your body knows and your mind knows what's going to be worth it.
So that was the Rare event. That was really good. And then it was Bella Hadid. So Bella launched her, it's called Aura Bella, the brand. So I want to get this right, but I was actually pretty impressed when I was reading about it beforehand and then saw everything in person. But normally, again, when you go to these events, they're not intimate. it's especially when it says like you're meeting the person. I'm like, oh
Right.
God, girl, it's going to be a 60-person cattle call. And I love her, but that's anytime I met Selena Gomez, that's what it is. It was like 60 people. You get up there, she's ready to collapse. You're just like in and out, and it's fine. But I've told you guys how I feel. I don't like meeting famous people because they don't want to meet you. So it's just such a hollow transaction, like $30 to come inside.
Yeah.
Like it's just very that. Like, so I'm just,
Yeah.
I don't know. That doesn't interest me if it's gonna be especially that
A turnstile of like people
transactional too.
that they're
exactly.
like, okay, I just want to. I
Yeah.
want to go home.
Yes. With this, so it's called Orabella, a new era of skin nourishing fragrances. So it is, you notice when you grabbed it, like you can see it's clear and it has oil in it. And then as you shake it, you see how it gets like white or like bubbly. If I don't even know. This is my fragrance descriptions. But
It almost looks like frosted, so you have to shake. It's like a biphase.
So she was saying she was like shake to activate it, because then when you spray it, so it's hydrating, alcohol free, elevated with essential oils, and there's a little bit of like a shimmer in it. So even though this is as concentrated as a fragrance, you can use this almost as a body oil. So when you put this all over like the chest and the body, mama, like shimmer city, beautiful, everything.
Yeah.
So I was actually really impressed because I felt like it was like different.
But I like that because oils trap fragrance. So that's what
Yes.
keeps it on longer, gives you more longevity, which I love that. Are
Absolutely.
these sprayers or roll-on sprayers?
Sprayers.
We love
So
that.
the full bottle is beautiful. It's like this it looks like cut glass almost, like this kind of very, I don't even know, like stone kind of a situation.
Yeah.
And then what happened was you were asking me, and I said I only smelled one of them because when we get there was 15 of us were invited. We were like, so when I tell you, and this was like the cool part just about meeting her, she like gets out of the car, immediately goes over to all of the public there and like starts saying hello to everybody for like quite a while, like not like your typical celebrity. No, Anne Hathaway, like, which still, I get why Anne Hathaway did that because it was paparazzi. But I mean, she was so nice. The girl she was like hugging was like crying. They turned this place in the village into a pop-up shop, which I'll insert the videos. So beautiful. They made it look like this Beauty and the Beast library with like, and it's
like an apothecary, like.
Absolutely. And you see there on the table
are the fragrance bottles.
Girl, the fragrance bottles are stunning.
Oh my God.
So nice.
Wow.
What she did was I want to say one is called Salted Muse. This one is like the oceany. Then there is Blooming Fire, which is fire.
Yeah, and then Window to Soul.
Yeah, so the fire was in like a desert display. This one was the soul, the one you have in the like greenery. And then it transitioned into like the amethyst, like oceany was the Salted Muse. So the cool thing that the team did was, since there was 15 of us, they split us up 5, 5, and 5. We went in, we saw Bella was right in front of us. So sweet. I'm not kidding you. Okay. So this was the thing I was going to say. I've met a lot of people at this point in my career. Hands down, the sweetest, nicest, most down-to-earth celebrity I have ever met. She hugged all of us 5 times, 6 times. It was like we literally were like, she invited us over for a dinner party for an hour and a half. Just the most normal, cool, just chill person I've ever. She was so.
She has that personality.
Oh, it was unreal.
Where if she's that nice, it almost reminds me of how Selena Gomez is.
It was like it was just a friend of our age that was just like, wow, couldn't have been cooler.
That's so cool.
So she was talking at first, and then they split us up into 5, 5, and 5. We each went to like a different section. The front of the space was one, the middle was one, and the back was one. All different 3 activations and for the different scents. So I was in the Salted Muse group, which this is the only one that and I am not kidding, doused myself in because this is erotic. And I was so happy, and I told her this. I was like, this is the like what I love, the androgynous, more masculine girl. Like, this is how good this is and how you can wear this. Like, look at it even on the body.
Ooh. I gotta say, for Bella Hadid to come out with fragrances that smell like that.
Can you even?
They're so like earthy and very like, because when I was just sniffing this, I was like, girl, this even smell. I was like,
Yes.
This is like very odd. So are these supposed to be unisex fragrances?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is very cool for her. I was expecting like fruity, warm, and like fun.
And the reason I also wanted to wait to I know you smell me. The fact that it's no alcohol, the whole nine. So now I haven't even smelled the other two because I kind of wanted your nose because I feel like you're better at this than me.
I'm nervous.
Yeah. So now which one is this? This is the Bloomin' Fire.
Yeah.
This one is Manoy. Not Manoy. Yeah, Manoy. Bergamot. I can't not say bergamot like that. Yeah, bergamot and patchouli.
This is up my ass.
Okay.
Mama.
And I'm not kidding you. I did not smell the other ones because I was in this section and so covered in this.
Okay, so any of you out there that know Miss Kim Kardashian when she did her gardenia fragrance. Oh, sorry. Not me not having the mic in front of me. So any of you that knew Kim Kardashian's gardenia fragrance or the Gucci Gorgeous Gardenia. This doesn't have gardenia in it, which is so weird that it's but there must have been notes in both of those fragrances. You would love this fragrance. If you loved Kim Kardashian's like gardenia fragrance in that stone packaging, this is more like a beautiful, more natural, earthier scent and equivalent to that. Oh my God.
Wow, there are so many things in this. Okay, so that's that's beautiful. Yeah. I thought I wasn't gonna like that.
Like this.
That's
okay,
stunning.
Now this one, Mama, I think this is going to be my least favorite just by smelling it.
Real quick, the fire one. I was reading like the quick one, but okay, so the top notes of this one, the fire, are bergamot, cedarwood, clove leaf, and cardamom. Middle are Tahitian Manoi, jasmine. The base notes are patchouli, but then the crazy thing is it seems like in those notes some of those notes are essential oils, which the cedar wood is an essential oil in this, supports tranquility, inhaling with its comforting woody aroma. The clover leaf stimulates the soul with layered depth and spicy and smoky qualities. And then the cardamom is a balanced energy with its sweet, spicy, and sensual essence. You put the other one on?
Yeah. Window to soul. I might be retracting my statement that
really?
I don't like it now that it's on my skin. I think I like it.
Top notes of lemon, geranium, and mint. Middle notes, jasmine, damask rose. Base notes, tonka bean.
So I gotta say, it's the lightest of the three.
Okay, let me smell that one. Yeah, that's my least favorite. It's still nice though.
This is my number 3 out of all.
That's the sweetest.
I gotta say, my favorite is that.
This
Mama.
Is your tea. Yeah, this is your gig.
Wow.
Like, isn't it crazy? I was just so shocked for Bella Hadid how almost like risky these scents were. You know what I mean?
That's
it wasn't
what I'm
just
saying.
Like Kylie Jenner, like
pink
baby
peonies,
baby cotton candy prostitute.
Yeah,
like that's what I would. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, no, that's what I would expect out of Bella Hadid.
Yes. Not no shade to Bella Hadid.
No, but I would expect a more
that stock
celebrity
sexy,
fragrance.
Yeah, sexy Paris Hilton fragrance.
This feels like this has a lot of integrity behind it too, and the fact that they're so unique.
To have the alcohol free, them have this like body oil, essential oil shimmer, like
and the
experience.
Scent itself is nuts.
I know, like
they're not just like sweet vanilla, sweet this, sweet that. Like,
yes,
that's all we're getting pumped out lately with is all vanilla things, and I would take her for that because she is trendy. She is a very popular icon in a way of like doing everything very popular. Her and her sister, you know. This is so incredible. I mean,
cool?
What risky yet game changing.
Totally.
Good for her.
Yeah,
I really, wow.
Yeah.
I'm like
very impressive.
Love.
I know.
I'm very impressed. Good for her.
Could you imagine if she expands these? Like, especially
no, I can't handle that. My gay heart can't.
I know. And the whole vision behind everyone, like the to have this like earth, wind, and fire kind of a situation. The activation had that. And drum roll, I saw on her Instagram story, guess who did the makeup for every single campaign? Miss Erin Parsons.
Oh,
so she did
all
of, and I was so bummed because I was like wondering if she was going to be there. She wasn't there when I went there, but then she said her Instagram story. She's like, "Oh, I'm going to like Orabella like pop up. I don't know where it was because it didn't look like the one I was at." And she was like, "And it's the first time I've seen the campaign images." She said they shot them and did them in October, but I was like, "Oh my God!" Cool. I would like have died to like because I haven't seen her since I had her on the podcast, and I just like love her. Yeah, like I said, hugged us all 50 times. Like, and then there was a part at the the end where they wanted like a group photo. So it was like all 16 of us, including her. And the person who worked for the brand was like taking the photos, and the girl who worked for the brand was like, "Yes, girls!" Like, and I'm just like
Only
in the
guy
thing.
there.
Yeah, yeah. And then she was like, "And guy," like threw it in at the end, and I like to make everyone laugh. I was like, "I'm one of the girls," like, and I said it like that.
Yeah.
And Bella, such a good sense of humor, like Bella started cracking up, and we were like, really, like, from me to the camera away. And she starts cracking up, and she's like, "He's one of the girls," like, and goes like, "Yeah."
The
Like,
SpongeBob meme of
yeah, she had a really good. I was just like really floored.
Wow,
Like
I
I would,
love
I would,
that.
out of any celebrity I'd met, I would hang out with Bella Hadid and Tuesday. She was that cool.
oh my god,
She
I
was
love
really,
that.
really cool. Yeah. So
Wow.
then to add in, and that would be one thing, but then to add insult to injury of how good this is, I was just like, this is
Yeah.
dope. So I highly recommend checking these out. Yeah.
Love it. Wow.
Before we get into Youthforia, a couple others was went to the Met Gala watch party with Aaron Dugan. Your Chak invited me. First time I ever met anybody from TikTok. I went yesterday because it was a watch party. Have you seen any looks? Zendaya.
If she did that
Steps
makeup on
the
herself,
necks. As we said already, you can check out Patreon for the Met Gala makeup police. But girl, and you know what it was? Even being there watching it, it was the gayest thing I have ever done. Where it was like they had I'll put the video in. It was like the screens, and then it was these round velvet couches like this, and it was all of us sitting watching this, like and it was all of these she's, gays, and nays, just like yes, like as people were coming up. And I mean, Zendaya, first one on the carpet, at least what we saw, and it just gave the vibe of like, follow this, like try. And it was unbelievable. And at first I thought it was like surprised that she came on so early, and it was because she had something up her sleeve the whole time. She went somewhere, wiped off all the makeup, and did a complete second look.
oh yeah,
Both looks better than anyone else. It was unbelievable.
and she understood what the theme was.
We'll get into it. You check out,
Go
like
watch
I
the
said,
Patreon.
yeah. So, but that way, it was a really cool experience for that, just to be there and see everybody,
Yeah.
and meet people. And they had some brands there. Oh, they had brands there. It was almost like a little TikTok shop thing. I know you've heard of this.
I love that's one of my favorite fragrances from them.
Can I ever get one up on you?
That is one of my all-time favorite fragrances from them. And it's so funny. Dan loves the salt fragrance. Did you smell the salt one, the blue?
I didn't, because it was overwhelming. They had everyone
Oh.
displayed. This brand has 59 fragrances.
I didn't know they had that many.
Girl.
Wow.
Yes, because you would know. Okay, so I asked her, I was like, how many are sold in Sephora? And she was like, you know, like
10.
Myth and this and that. Oh, so she said
Salt, sunfruit, yeah.
Apple, like some of the
Yep,
other ones.
that's a new
and,
one, yeah.
She said, yeah, about 10. They have to have, I'm not 30. It was like a rainbow. I was just like, I can't physically smell all these, like, to put them on. And of course, I gravitated
Myth.
towards this one because it was the most
It's one of my
masculine looking
fa-
bottle.
Oh my gosh.
My God.
One
and
of my
she
favorite
gave me
scents.
a thing. It was unbelievable. Yeah.
One of
so,
my all-time favorite scents. Yeah, Ellis Brooklyn.
yeah, this was really cool. The TikTok thing was awesome. And like I said, just to watch the Met Gala thing in real time. So it was kind of cool,
Oh,
too,
yeah.
to get first impressions, knowing that we always do Makeup Police, to get my Rolodex, like taking notes.
I
know.
couldn't believe some of the makeup looks.
What makeup looks?
Patreon.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
very few
Mhm.
that I was like blown away. Emma Chamberlain in the brown
Yes.
with the brown. Done. Deceased.
Yes.
She looked so
Unbelievable.
always basic. That's the time you turn it up. Was it the theme? No.
Gigi Hadid, the blush draping, the heavy blush with the blonde Cinderella pixie with the red lips.
I don't think I saw all.
Oh,
Okay,
girl.
I gotta. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't want to spoil it for myself because sometimes
Yes.
I like when we do Makeup Police for it to be like,
yes, to pull
Yeah.
react to the photos.
and I'm like, oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And then we were also two little funny things. We were saying Barbara Streisand on Melissa McCarthy's Instagram. If you guys didn't see this, Barbara Streisand comments, God bless her, doesn't understand how Instagram works. And Melissa McCarthy posted a photo holding hands with a guy. I don't know who this was, someone in the industry, whatever, that Barbara also knew. And she comments on the photo on Instagram and goes, "Give Jeff my regards. Did you take Ozempic?"
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh my God.
Like gag. Bitch.
and Barbara knows Melissa McCarthy because Melissa McCarthy did her duets album with her. Like they did a song together. So she knows her. And then Barbara posted an Instagram story. So just because she's like in her 80s, Barbara. And she posts on her Instagram story going like, thought I was saying hi to my friend Melissa. we did our song together on my duets album. Forgot other people could read it. Like just whatever she said.
Thought it was like a private
A DM
message.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it became iconic. Like, and even like TMZ was going up to Melissa McCarthy being like, were you insulted? And she was like, no. Like, and that's one person because Ozempic.
Was it Ozempic?
Okay, so I was gonna say, I feel like Melissa McCarthy is the one person that out of so many people currently probably taking Ozempic, I feel like Melissa McCarthy, it wasn't Ozempic because kind of a Kelly Clarkson situation where even Kelly Clarkson recently, talk about revenge body after her divorce, is looking unbelievable. But Kelly Clarkson came out saying that she found out it was because her doctor told her she was pre-diabetic. So I feel like people like Kelly Clarkson or Melissa McCarthy, their weight journey, especially in relationship to the public, has always been more transparent and honest and aspirational for the people that maybe look up to them with their journey with it. So I feel like she has had fluctuations before that. So Melissa McCarthy is someone I could see not taking it.
In that,
but who knows? We don't know any of these fucking people. But she and TMZ, they asked her, they were like, were you insulted? And she was like, no. She's like, it's Barbara Streisand. Like, she can say whatever she wants. And then the other thing I was gonna say, did you see the Drew Barrymore Kamala Harris interview? We need Mamala.
Wait.
Mamala. Drew Barrymore needs, like, girl. Yes, we'll put that in the video.
I was saving this to show you because I screamed.
Back up. Like,
Because this is not, someone said, I can't believe the Secret Service let this happen.
yes. Someone
'Cause,
said too, I don't know if you ever saw
Mama.
Veep, but they were like, it's giving Selena Myers smiling through cringe.
I never saw Veep.
The Veep, like if you saw Veep,
Oh my
literally,
God. Like,
Kamala Harris on that couch, you could tell was dying inside. Was like the cringe level was at 1,000. But if you haven't seen it, it was Drew Barrymore interviewing Kamala Harris, and she's again, as usual, 5 inches away from her face. Every guest always looks so uncomfortable. Like they're like this as Drew Barrymore
trying to
is
have
like,
a serious conversation.
you know what it's like? You know the Bill Hader SNL skit where he does the old man and he's like, oh, how did this happen? And he smacks the mic up against their face, like right here. That's what it is. Back up.
If
Like,
you don't know how to be a host of a show and no boundaries, you never saw Ellen getting in anybody's face.
Can we get a balance? Can we get something between Ellen, who was
We
cold,
need sit on different couches.
who was cold and tried to scare people into having heart attacks, and then Drew Barrymore, who's like licking their face.
If I went on the Drew Barrymore show, I want to be like, I want her in her own couch, and I need a table.
Oh, it doesn't
between
matter.
us.
She'll get off that couch,
Pretzel
she'll
style.
crisscross applesauce in front of you at your crotch. Like
Yeah.
she needs to be stopped.
Like she doesn't know physical boundaries, and
Girl.
I know she means well,
Yes.
but it's to the point of like, read the room. If Kamala Harris isn't also doing the same, and you're not,
Does she though? You remember that tea we got? I think there's going to be a little bit of an Ellen thing.
I don't
coming
know
out
how she
about-
even has a show how
in
it
a
got
couple years,
renewed.
because to me, I just it's so the Kelly Clarkson show for the modern day talk show host. It's so much more organic. The way it
Yeah.
starts with these covers better than anyone who sang it originally. First of all, like every song becomes hers, and then even her style. It just she clearly is such an extrovert and a talker.
Yeah,
So it's so organic, but it's not cringe. Like I can't deal with this like
over performative.
cry. Oh, she just did it too. Another clip came out. It was I don't know what for, but it was Timothy Chalamet and what's his face? Hugh Grant. The overlay was toxic positivity clapback, and it's Drew Barrymore asking Hugh Grant, do you have a positivity journal? And him being like, don't be ridiculous. Just as, and the audience like erupts in laughter. Like he was like, don't even say that to me. He's like, I have a list of people I hate. Like, and it was basically like you could tell
I
he
love
was so
Hugh
bothered
Grant.
by her, that fakeness.
Is Hugh Grant the one that I'm thinking of? He was in Saltburn and everything.
I don't think
Am
he
I
was
think-
the dad. No, I think you're thinking of someone else.
Who am I thinking of? Okay, anyway.
So for her, the Kamala Harris thing, oh my God, I'm sorry, we go on side tangents, was she was literally saying to Kamala Harris, the cringe of that, of
I didn't even see
the
the clip.
country. You didn't see what she literally is going, she's like, in such a tumultuous time, we need Mamala. And people were also saying, they're like, you would never say that to a male politician.
A vice president.
The
of the
vice
country.
president of the United States. Could you and people were in the comment
Mike
section going,
Pence?
could you imagine if someone said like the president was on and they were like, we need like
Daddy
Daddy
Joe.
Biden. Like,
Daddy Joe.
could you imagine?
No, mama.
Because it's dehumanizing, or not dehumanizing, but it's disrespectful in a way. Here's this person.
This is Madam Vice President to you.
That's what I mean. Would you go up to the boss at your company and let's say your boss's name is Helen Smith? Would you go up to the boss at the the CEO of JP Morgan and call her Mama Smith? You'd be fired, like, because you're downgrading their role, and they were saying that the racial element to it was like to call her Mamala. No,
Like, girl, you thought you ate when you said that?
Yeah. Mama. Like, I could
Ew. Ew.
that boy, the mama.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
There's been so many pop culture things since we haven't seen one.
Girl,
another.
just go
JoJo
do the
Siwa,
ET.
JoJo Siwa. Come as a bitch.
Can we, since you brought it up,
Yeah.
do you know who choreographed all that?
Who? Gaga's choreographer.
Yeah, mama. So,
Come as a bitch. Yeah.
and why he's not fired?
Girl,
Heads
you
well
even?
wrong.
Can you even? Yeah.
No, I would have him fired.
Did you see Chloe? I don't know her name. I love her on SNL, the cast member. She did JoJo Siwa on
Yes.
Weekend Update. She was
Yes.
like, you probably never met a gay girl before. Like, talking about how she's the first
No, and she's like,
lesbian
I'm
ever.
like being a trailblazer, doing. No one's ever done anything extraordinary. They said like Bottoms dyeing their hair blonde. They were like, nobody has ever done anything this extraordinary before, and
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's
Yeah.
fucking true.
You have to watch
Delusional.
the SNL.
Girl, what is she? 18?
Yeah.
Calm down.
And Colin Jost was like, he goes,
I
how
love him.
old are you? And she's like, well, from 2011 to 2022, I was 8 years old, and now I'm 20. Like, and I was, but that she's like, you probably never met a gay girl before. And she's like, does that make you uncomfortable? Like, I was like, because you know how.
I
Not
love
everyone-
that.
Yeah, not everyone. I don't want to hear it, but let's just, and I went through it. Newly out LGBT people, they are the only queer to walk the face of the earth. Like, it's that feeling.
I was untouchable.
They've been out. JoJo.
JoJo Siwa.
What was that? Powerpuff Girls? Mojo Jojo.
Mojo
Yeah.
Jojo.
Mojo
That is her-
Jojo.
She is in
Yeah.
her villain era.
Mojo Jojo. That's her new
Yeah.
name. Mojo Jojo has been out for a while. Like, where is this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm
This
the
like
only
Kiss
lesbian.
meets like punk rock. Yeah, yeah, girl. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
mama. I don't know
God.
what we're doing. This. Oh my God!
Mama is
Did you see the meme of like this is what you get when you give a homeschool kid Mountain Dew? I
Yes,
fucking
I did.
lost my mind.
Oh my God, I did see
Oh
that.
God,
Yeah, girl, she is like a homeschooled kid. Mountain Dew. Oh my God.
God, I'm gonna
yeah.
be sick.
And even though, but and
girl.
it's one thing, whatever. Like it would be one thing if she was just acting this way, but the fact that it's like coupled with these like cringeworthy lies and shit, where she was in the car saying she wrote that song, and then they found out that it was just literally taken from another artist that they paid for the rights. That car, and now a real artist, the writer of that song, just
God.
released her version, which is exactly this. Like Mojo Jojo didn't change a word.
Mocha Jojo.
Mocha Joe's, yeah. Curb Your Enthusiasm. Mojo Jojo didn't change a word. Same thing. And then is in her car before anyone found out, going like, well, when I was writing that song, like, and yeah, lied about it. Like, girl, get it together. Like,
But you know what? This is what you get though when you are
give Mountain Dew to a
giving Mountain Dew to a homeschool kid, girl.
Mhm.
I forgot that she was on Dance Moms as a kid.
girl.
When you were brought up from childhood,
There's going to
basically.
be a documentary about that in 10 years. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Abby Lee Miller is out
Yeah.
of fucking
Yeah.
control.
Yeah.
Comes in with her hair a mess, and
Bite
they were
my
like, "Couldn't you
finger.
just brush your hair, Abby?"
Oh my
And she was
God.
like, "I'm thick," and everyone's like, "Brush your hair." Literally, Naomi Smalls, brush your hair, bitch.
Brush your hair before you come for me.
Oh my God, it was.
I know.
Oh, it was. But there's something about it too, where I think JoJo Siwa has gone through weird experiences as a child, and I think now she's
Yeah.
trying to find her footing as who she is. This isn't who you are.
And
You're
think,
trying to do your
yeah.
Born This Way era thing, and it's not working. This isn't.
Girl.
This isn't who you. Stop trying to be like this is the real me, because
Yeah.
this isn't the real you.
I know.
It's a very performative act, and it's
You
gotta
think?
stop.
Yeah. She was like Gene Simmons.
Yeah, it does. Like,
Girl,
girl,
yeah.
stop.
I'm surprised she's gonna like bite the head off a dove.
No,
Like,
because mark my words, this is her quote unquote born this way era.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the Joanne era. The stripped down
girl.
pink cowboy hat goes on, and she goes,
I know.
"I'm straight again."
I know. Alrighty,
All right,
we are back
so-
with Euphoria Drama Girl.
Okay, so if you have not seen this,
Tarte found shaking. Like, girl.
you know what? I gotta even say though,
Oh,
in Tarte's defense, they have never,
Tarte is breathing a sigh of relief.
because Tarte has never done something
no, nobody has ever done anything this
something
insulting.
insulting. And I will say that there have been a lot of things like the Rem Beauty concealers that have a white and a black
Yes.
as more artistry driven shades,
Absolutely.
where they're meant. I don't know for a fact if Youthforia said this or this was just something said by another creator, that this was supposed to be a mixing medium shade.
No, it wasn't.
This was not. Shade 600 of the Youthforia Date Night Skin Tint was not a mistake.
No.
This was made on purpose.
Yes, it was.
Thinking that they were being inclusive.
Because the backstory.
Let's do it.
Yeah, if you don't know Youthforia, this is the brand pop-up photos. They came out with the skin tint and people were liking it, but very quickly the darkest shade was
Embarrassing.
medium.
Tarte.
If that.
It was
like,
Tarte.
yes.
This brand was like basically founded on Shark Tank.
Really?
Yeah,
I
this
didn't know
was
that.
Like they were Youthforia was on Shark Tank, and I think it was Mark Cuban who said it. That was like, oh, I want to come out with like other shades of this like lip and blush thing. He's like, well, if this is like the perfect blush shade for everyone, why do you need other shades?
Clocked by a straight man.
Clocked.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tea.
Girl, yeah, Laura Mercier. Now
And
we're
Mark Cuban was like, I'm
blurring
not
setting powder.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban. I thought the first one was blurring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Mark Cuban clocked the tea. I think it was him that said
Yeah.
it on Shark Tank, and it was like, so I never really like got behind this brand or anything either.
So the founder of the brand, Fiona Ko Chan, she was born in San Francisco and has spoken to how her Asian heritage and living in Asia influenced the brand and what she was doing, etc. Like kind of how she was developing it, the whole nine. But it's not like it was let's say like a K-beauty brand that we see, you know, cushion foundations that are coming out of K-beauty, which the Lipstick Lesbian shed a lot of light on, that a lot of the biggest cushion foundation manufacturers are definitely South Korea. And then I believe China. And she was saying, she's like, cushion foundations really haven't taken off in the United States. So she was explaining how
They were for a while. Do you remember
Yes.
Lancome and Dior and all of them?
however, they were unapologetically pale.
Horrible.
And they weren't, they
yeah.
didn't go dark, because she was even saying, Alexis from the Lipstick Lesbians, being in these manufacturing facilities, was saying, she goes, the people making these brands and developing the makeup in South Korea and China, she goes, they've never seen a person of color. So she goes, they don't, it's just not for, they're made for a Asian market. So there's not that, you know, inclusivity, if you will. But they have been saying, and now even with Gucci launching the foundation, the cushion foundation, Alexis was kind of predicting that we're going to, in the next year or so, see an influx of cushion foundations in the US. And she's hoping that it starts to get like inclusive. But that being said, with Youthforia, that's not the case. Darkest shade was abysmal, and then came out with a shade that she and the whole company thought was a flex, that was pure black pigment.
Yeah.
Which you can speak to that you
I'm gonna bring up the creator Gloria, who swatched this on. She
Called them
swatches the
out.
darkest shade on her skin tone, and she always compares it. So she's like, "This is the darkest shade from House Labs. This is the darkest shade from all the brands."
Unbelievable creator. If you have dark skin, every single brand she always swatches and says, "This is the darkest shade from blank. This is the darkest shade from blank." To clock them, and so oh my god.
And she quite literally, the day I saw her post this video, it was hours after she had posted it. I saw her swatch the Youthforia, and I said, "Oh my god, that looks wrong."
Yeah.
I said, and then she's like, "I'm gonna go ahead and swatch a black paint
Yes.
next to it." When I tell you, because the Youthforia was almost a little bit gray looking.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my god, it almost looks like black face paint that added a little bit of like white. Oh, it's like grayish on her. When I was like, oh my god, there's like no difference between that and the Youthforia, but the black paint versus
black face paint. Yeah.
And this skin tint, quote unquote.
Yes.
So then now we're doing deeper dives,
Yep.
and people started looking at the ingredient list and come to find out that the only pigment shade that was used was a black iron oxide. So when you look up like the coating of like the pigment, it's just black pigment.
Yes.
And they also added titanium dioxide, I believe. Yeah, titanium dioxide was added to the shade too. So like into this formula, but it's still black.
Yes.
Now, apparently to the brands, they said, oh, we went to go shade match people and we found 2 men in Dubai that this skin tint matched.
She went to an airport and was just trying to find people who maybe this would match, posted a photo of the old darkest shade, and then this one, the 600 shade, both of them swatched on this gentleman that she thought it would match. The old darkest shade was 5 shades too light, and this one was 70 shades too dark.
Because it's pure black. Pigment. Guess what? It is scientifically proven no matter how dark your skin is, you have an undertone.
Yes.
An undertone that is warm, cool, or neutral.
It is biologically impossible to
have black iron oxide as what matches your tone. Oh it is such an insult and quite literally uneducated.
Held a quote unquote open casting call to try to find a model who this matched. It didn't match
anybody
anyone.
In the US, right?
I don't even know wherever they held this casting call.
Yeah.
Didn't match anybody. So then in the meantime, on the website had models for every single thing. This shade just had a swatch of the color. No model, just a swatch on the website. Took this photo and used that for the website.
And that's the part where that's where I think it was getting misconstrued about the 2 men from Dubai that this allegedly matched, and it does not.
That was the guy she swatched on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Neither one matched.
And then, because
the one was too light and the one was too dark.
Because
it couldn't match anybody.
Whether you are the lightest shade or the darkest shade,
yes,
you could be of the lightest or darkest complexion. You always have an undertone. And to come out with this is such a backhanded thing to say. There is no. Okay, so here's the thing. If this darkest shade had an undertone, work.
Absolutely.
Mama, this didn't even have an ounce of another color in it.
Girl, you know who's even, and I have so many things swirling in my head. You know who's even stupider than the brand for doing this is the people on social media trying to argue that it could match someone.
It cannot.
So
it
you know what I'm going to do?
Scientifically can't.
I'm going to find someone. I'm going to make a foundation that is pure white. Paper white. No undertone, no nothing. You've seen that person before?
Go get a white face paint and try and match somebody.
I'm so tired of everybody thinking they're going to get a medal for excusing shitty behavior.
Yeah.
You being devil's advocate doesn't make you a good person.
Yeah.
This, and the other thing swirling around my head was a guy in the comment section, and he's a person of color, hysterical. He goes, this is giving, your foundation range isn't inclusive. We want darker shades. And they go, all right, damn, God, here. And just throw out a pure black pigment.
And then the people defending it as well, saying this could be a mixing medium to add to other darker shades to make it dark. I'm like, that's impossible.
Yeah.
This is only going to make that shade gray.
Exactly.
It's not going to do anything because there is no red, yellow, blue, green, any other pigment in there to make it have an undertone, because typically there is red, blue, green, and yellow pigment
absolutely
in it to make an undertone.
Yeah.
Mama.
Girl.
Even the lightest shade when we were using it for the Pat McGrath video, the lightest shade of Rem Beauty, it looked super white on our skin, but it was pink.
Peach. It was pinky.
And pinky like that. There was an undertone. It wasn't white face paint.
Exactly.
Mama. It had an undertone. It has to have an undertone for it to match anybody.
Absolutely.
Now, if it did, and it was, let's say, the darkest shade, I'm trying to even think of because I think there are between Fenty, House Labs, and Made by Mitchell just came out with a skin tint that Gloria also swatched.
Absolutely.
And she was like,
and his contour.
Yep. And Danessa Myricks, and the amount of times especially Fenty, they really did it so well with the neutral undertones, especially going as dark as Fenty does. Incredible. Where Gloria said, she was like, this is how you do it.
Yes.
She's like, this is how you do it because you understand what to do.
Oh my God.
Where these brands, it's like unexcusable.
Even the Win skin tint, Serena Williams. This is a brand new brand.
Yes.
She
swatched that one too. And
1/1,000,000th the experience, the owner of Youthforia, in the retrospect of how long you've been around.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah, but look at that though.
Nailed
But
it.
look at Wynn, Fenty, Danessa. These black women are creating lines, knowing how hard it has been for black people to get shade matched in Sephora, in an Ulta.
Yes.
How hard it is that shades are not inclusive. Because even something like years ago, Lancome was redoing their shades. And at the time, Lancome was probably the most inclusive
Yeah.
in like 2015, 2016, where we had deeper shades, but still they didn't go dark enough.
No.
But they were the first ones that I remember using ultramarine pigments, which was the
Mhm.
blue, to make super deep shades have the right undertone so they weren't so red.
Yes.
And that was the most groundbreaking thing to me, where Lancome was really like, they had a specific team at the time
Yes.
that was helping them like basically redo the Tint Adol foundation to have
Yeah.
ultramarine pigment in it. And I don't know. I don't think we're giving enough credit to these brands that are doing it so well. And Youthforia to kind of just take this misstep and say, double down on it and say, this is the shade. This
I
is the
know.
darkest shade. Yeah.
That's what I mean, girl. It makes me like nauseous because
It's disgusting.
it's so dehumanizing. It's so.
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
That's exactly like, oh God, all right, fine, stop bitching. Here you go. And it's not even a physical shade that could human beings are biologically capable of being. It's so derogatory and dehumanizing
Yeah.
of like almost a combative insult.
Yeah.
It's confrontational of here you go, like as the intended to be insulting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like throwing a pure black thing and being like, there you go. Like, what is this? Like
Say goodbye.
the original
Yeah.
Dumbo movies with like racist characters
Yeah.
in it? Like, girl, what are you doing?
Yeah. Because it really does. It shocks me that in 2024,
And how many people did this have to go through?
that's what I'm saying. This wasn't just one person. This went through product development. This went through
Girl.
testing. I think the shocking part is that trying to match people, if you have to go through something so strenuous to find somebody that this matches and it's not working, maybe because it can't physically
Exactly.
match anybody.
Exactly.
And I know there's going to be people saying, oh, stop defending.
Don't.
Look it up.
Girl.
It is scientifically impossible. This is so.
The darkest skin in the world.
Breathe on the
is
back.
Still
You're
gonna
backhanding
have.
people.
It needs a different pigment in it. It needs more pigment in it of a color, an undertone. It needs a red. It needs a blue. It needs a green. No human being is pure black pigment or pure white pigment. Even the palest human being in the world is not going to be.
They're going to have warm, neutral, or
1
pink.
like zero,
Yeah.
like the purest form of white. That is physically impossible.
Yeah.
And it's just so disgusting. I can't wrap my, like, these people in these positions that you have this brand, you have these opportunities, the foolishness and the, like, do these people just hang their brain up on it? Like, take the brain out and put it on a shelf at the end of the night?
And especially for a smaller brand, there's not that many people on this team. So this went through everybody, I'm sure, at this
Girl.
company. And nobody thought, not one person at this company thought, maybe this isn't a good idea.
I know, girl.
Maybe this isn't going to match because you thought you ate making the darkest shade possible.
Girl, Google it. You know what I'm saying? Google it. Like, before I even did that, let's say you thought you were doing something. You thought you had a great idea. Google, is human skin biologically capable of being pure black pigment?
And then you know what I would have done?
Results say no.
If
Okay.
I were
Next idea.
Youthforia, I would have brought Gloria on my team and said, let's partner to make the darkest shade. Since you swatched the darkest shade, let's do this together. Let's collaborate and let's come out with a more inclusive range. I would partner with people in the industry to do that. If you're unsure.
That takes a
Effort.
element of respect.
Right.
There's clearly no respect for people of color in this
brand
culture
totally.
of this brand that
Yeah.
we, and that's what I mean about the confrontational. It literally felt like, you're bitching, fine, here you go.
Because think about the amount of time that went into developing this shade.
That's what I mean. We had
So you
so
took the
many
base,
opportunities to turn back.
Put the black iron oxide
Girl,
right in here, and that was enough. And then you added a little bit of white.
can you believe it?
That we swatched this and didn't think, wow, that's.
I know.
Yeah, well, we'll put it on the market. It'll match somebody.
And to me, I mean, we talk about it all the time, kind of the nature of cancelization, or like people we should support and shouldn't support, whatever. But like, this is,
I think
they should go away forever. Like, but they won't, because people will still support it. Like James
I
Charles.
don't know.
James Charles, girl. He's the
All
benchmark.
right, well, that's true.
They'll be fine. They'll wait a little bit. They'll whatever. And there will still be that base that it's the best skin tint I've ever used.
Have they even like put
There's
out
no other
anything?
product in the world that can do what this does, so I'm going to keep buying it.
Yeah,
And they
like,
will. And they'll be fine.
Well,
And
yeah,
it's
because
just-
other people are going to keep buying the other shades.
That's what I mean.
Because it matches them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's not one post on here about the recent shade. And also, you know what?
On
Robert
Euphoria?
Welsh.
Oh, no, they shut off all the comments on everything, girl.
Yeah.
Every TikTok. Oh, they're nothing.
Well,
everything.
you know what? I give Robert Welsh a lot of credit because he called creators out for trying to make content around this. He said, stop buying the shade 600, giving them your money on the shade to say, look how horrible this is. Stop
get
buying the
violent.
product.
I'm going to get aggressive. Yeah.
Because look at what you're doing.
L'Oreal
We're calling
mascara.
out this shade.
Telescopic
You're calling
mascara.
out 600 and saying, wow, this is not acceptable. Your message behind it as a creator, fine. Pull up a photo of it.
We
You
know
know-
it's not acceptable, but
Don't buy the product and
give
give
them
them
money.
You're selling the shade out.
yeah.
You
Idiot
quite literally,
morons.
you're making the product sell out that we're trying to make light of, that this is not okay. Why are we producing products like this?
Girl.
And y'all are going out buying it
Giving them your money.
of that one specific shade too. So now you're telling them, oh yeah, it's okay because you do something wrong, but we'll all buy it to show you how wrong you are.
Girl.
They're winning.
Girl.
They've won. Once you
Yes.
hit check out and you give them
Yes.
your money, they won.
Yes.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
For anybody that's buying
Good
this,
for Robert.
put up
I love Robert.
put up the photo. Put up
Yeah.
the photo.
Yes.
Here it is.
That's how easy it is. And we didn't give up, and you don't have to give him any money.
Don't have to give them a cent. And I can't even believe, is that shade still available online? Because I will throw up if it is. So help me God, if it is up, I will.
Wow. Yeah. After all this, if they hadn't taken it down,
It's still up.
Does it say like add to cart?
Yeah. And it says it's a neutral undertone.
Gray. Oh.
And here's the photo of the man.
The only excusable reason that is still up is because she fled the country. You know what I mean? The
And
team,
honestly-
like that the headquarters is empty.
Girl,
Papers are still flying around.
These
and they
men
fled the
have no
country.
makeup on their face.
No, it
this
was
makeup-
taken from like a passport office. I'm almost positive.
I
I'm
quite
over it.
literally cannot
It is
believe
corny,
that.
tired and played
That
out. I am
is
so
still
over this.
available to purchase.
And Youthforia just shut their comments off on every social media, so people can't like call them out on it anymore.
They need to be. They
Done.
need to be shut down.
Done.
The fact that it is still available to
That's
purchase on the
insane.
website.
I know.
Yeah, because people are buying it. So stop buying it.
Thank you guys for watching a brand new episode of Beautiful and Bothered. Make sure to hop over on Patreon. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, etc. PR packages here. What do we? And we think it's the new Natasha Denona powder
hope
foundation,
so.
which I could use a little touch of.
I
So-
could too.
Yes, girl. So we're gonna open up this PR over on Patreon, as well as
You'll see the Met Gala.
of course we have
Makeup
the
Police.
full Met Gala makeup police,
So yeah, we're gonna have we're
as
seriously.
well as that little Mac tea.
Oh yeah.
told you.
Oh,
So make sure to head over to the Beyond Bothered After Show Patreon. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was fun. We had fun.
I'm a little bothered after the last conversation, but we.
I
Had
wish
a
we
good
started with
day.
it because now I'm bummed.
Now
Yeah.
I'm ready to fight.
I know we started. It was like all fun.
I'm gonna go to
and
the
now
Youthforia
I'm pissed.
headquarters and just start throwing
I
everything
know.
on the floor.
I know, now I'm pissed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go follow Gloria on everything.
Yes, she's
Unbelievable.
amazing.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Subscribe to the.
Make sure to subscribe to do you have a YouTube channel? Make sure to subscribe to YouTube for your video episode one day early. We hit 1,000 reviews on Spotify.
Woo!
If you haven't already, leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you stream this little ditty. And where we are, we hope you're happy, safe, and healthy. And remember, Mama love.
You are beautiful.
Bye!
Bye.